Welcome back to another episode of the Dramatic Bible Reading Podcast. I'm your host, Bert Clemens. Well, today we'll be reading Ezekiel chapter 19, Song of Mourning for the Leaders of Israel. Now let's go to the reading. Ezekiel 19, Song of Mourning for the Leaders of Israel. As for you, take up a song of mourning for the leaders of Israel and say, what was your mother, a lioness among lions? She lay down among young lions. She raised her cubs. When she brought up one of her cubs, he became a young lion, and he learned to tear his prey. He devoured people. Then nations heard about him. He was caught in their trap, and they brought him with hooks to the land of Egypt. When she saw, as she waited, that her hope was lost, she took another of her cubs and made him a young lion, and he walked among the lions. He became a young lion. He learned to tear his prey. He devoured people. He destroyed their palaces and laid waste their cities. And the land and its fullness were appalled because of the sound of his roaring. Then nations set against him on every side from their provinces, and they spread their net over him. He was caught in their trap. They put him in a wooden collar with hooks and brought him to the king of Babylon. They brought him in hunting nets so that his voice would no longer be heard on the mountains of Israel. Your mother was like a vine in your vineyard, painted by the waters. It was fruitful and thick with branches because of abundant waters, and it had strong stems fit for scepters of rulers, and its height was raised above the clouds, so that it was seen in its heights with the mass of its branches. But it was uprooted in fury. It was thrown down to the ground, and the east wind dried up its fruits. Its strong stem was torn out, so that it withered. The fire consumed it, and now it is planted in the wilderness, in a dry and thirsty land, and fire has gone out from its stem. It has consumed its shoots and fruit, so that there is no strong stem in it, a scepter to rule. This is a song of mourning, and has become a song of mourning. And that is the end of Ezekiel chapter 19. Well, that concludes another episode of the Dramatic Bible Reading Podcast. We thank God for this chapter of Ezekiel letting us know countries that have rulers that are terrorists will be destroyed. Tell someone about this podcast, because faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the word of the Lord. Until next time, I'm your host, Bert Clemens.